Hey guys, it's Pnelope from Singapore. This lesson is for week 5 of Introduction to Music Production. I'll be using Ableton Live 9 to demonstrate the configurations of an EQ plugin to function like a large format mixing console in the EQ section of a mixing board. Let's get started. So now that we are in Ableton Live 9, the first thing that we need to do is to locate our EQ plugin itself. And so on the left hand side, if you cannot see this panel here, just click on this arrow here, go to Audio Effects and look for EQ8. Within EQ, double click on EQ8 and you will actually see the equalizer here. To expand the equalizer, click on this arrow and we can actually start seeing these numbers here, which is actually our plugin. So to turn it off, you just click on the orange boxes. The first thing that we need to set is actually our high pass filter. So this high pass filter is actually at 75 Hz. So let's just put it to 75 Hz. The second thing to take note is that the Q here is basically the default is 0.71 instead of 1 that we see in the lectures, and I'm just going to assume that 0.71 is the default for this software itself. So the high pass filter basically is this diagram over here with the times 4. They don't really explain to you what all these are, but basically what you need to know is that the high pass filter is times 4. By clicking on that, you can actually see that our high pass filter is actually activated. So that is set, and now we can turn this off and turn the next equalizer on. The next thing that we need to look at is the low shelving filter. Over here in this photo, the low shelving filter is set at 80 Hz. So let's just do that, 80 Hz. And shelving filter basically is this diagram over here with the 2 lines and then converging into 1 line. And once you actually click on that and you actually play with the gain, you can see that it's actually very sensitive when you're playing with it. So that's one thing to take note. Once that is set, we can actually move on to the third equalizer EQ, which is the parametric low mid-range EQ. In this picture here, we can see that the frequency ranges from about 100 to 2000 Hz. So let's just set it at 400 since the photo in the middle is 400. And the parametric EQ is actually this one here where it's like a round circle. And if we actually start playing with the gain, we can see that the filter is actually going good. For this, I'll also set it to 0.71 in this software because that's the default. After setting that, we can actually go ahead to set the high mid-range equalizer. For this picture here, it's 400 to about 8000 Hz, and the mid will be 2000. So let's set that to 2000. And again, just remember to set what kind of filter you're looking at. And as we can see, it's working good. So now turning this off, let's move on to the last one, which is the high shelving filter itself. The high is located at 12,000 Hz, which is our fourth one, right? Okay, so basically our high shelving filter would be the opposite of the low shelving filter, which is the converging the 2 lines dividing themselves. Once we see that, we have to set the frequency to 12,000, and by opening the gain, you can actually see that that is very sensitive as well. So with that, you actually have your equalizer set up, and if you want to see the full activation and numbers on it, that's where it is. To save the preset, basically click here, and looking at your left panel, it will actually prompt you to rename your preset, and for this I'll rename as EQ Coursera. Okay, and then you just enter to save that preset. So whenever you want to look into your preset, you basically go to your users library, preset, audio effects, EQ8, and you can actually see your EQ here, which it is ready for you to use. Alright, thank you guys.